Okay, guys, as a continuous revision over chapter 12, we are gonna continue with lesson 3, what forces shape the shoreline. You guys already know some of them. Vocabularies, shore, headland, tide bowl, and jetty. Some of those vocabularies you guys already have or had before. I'm sorry. So the first word we had was, what do we mean by the shore itself? You guys remember that? Everyone?
Yes.
Okay, someone keeps
Yeah, I
saying
remember that.
yes, but are you guys awake? Like, can you understand what we're saying? If you're feeling sleepy, you can go wash your face, drink some water, so you can wake up a little bit. It's okay. You can have an excuse for that. Okay, so the shore is like the part or the area where land and water meet or interact together. Of course, not all beaches or not all shores are the same shape. Some are covered with sand, some are covered with pebbles, some are covered with, have you ever seen the shore with the black sand?
Like a mud.
Yes, there is a shore covered with a black sand. So you can find them covered with rocks or
Like
big
mud.
ones. Yeah. So there are different shapes or different forms of the shore, but all of them still mean the same thing. When the water meets with the land, when the ocean meets with the land. So there are different features that we can see over this shore area or the shoreline. The first one is the headland, and headland is a really famous um, feature that we could see. I mean, maybe we don't have here, or some of you guys didn't see it here, but you must have seen it somewhere, like maybe on the TV. Maybe you're searching over something, talking about shore or oceans, and you must have seen something like this. So the headland is part of the land where you guys can see here this part. Okay, it's where the soft rocks has been weathered or broken down, and we're only left with the hard part. You guys already learned about weathering, erosion, if you remember from term 3. It's
Yes.
when the water and wind starts breaking down the rocks into smaller pieces. So yeah, when the water keeps on moving on its regular motion like waves, you guys learned about them in lesson 2. This movement will take or breaks down the
Mm,
land over
yes.
time, okay, leaving only
Yes.
the hard part. Yes, someone's saying something. Guys, is someone saying something? Okay, because I thought I heard someone. So with time, as the water keeps breaking down this part of the shore, we are left with the headland, which is the hard part that is not yet broken down, and the soft part is really broken down. Okay, so that happens to the shoreline. It could happen to maybe some parts of the headland, like this one here, and starts forming what we call a sea arc. This part or this area here, let me highlight it for you guys. Here, this part here, okay, we feel like it's a hole in the headland itself. Can you guys see it? It's like a hole through the rock.
Yes.
That's actually what it means. Sea arc. Okay. This is also formed by the motion of the water as the waves keeps breaking down the rocks. Okay. You can see here that it starts with a small crack and then keeps on getting bigger and bigger until it reaches the shape of a sea arc. The next feature we can see over the shoreline is, guys, let me check if I have anyone in the waiting room. I'm sorry for that. Okay. Okay. The next feature that we can find over the shore is the tide bowls, and you already know that the tide bowl is like a temporary pole. It's not permanent because we have high tide and low tide. Remember that, guys?
Yes, miss.
Yes. I hope you still remember this. From the previous sessions. You can still go watch the sessions, guys. You will have you have a link on the SMS in the folder called online sessions. This link contains all the playlists of the science for term 4 only. So it's one link, yes, but this one is a playlist actually for the whole term 4 sessions. Okay, so the dot ball again are temporary because we have high tide and low tide. So during the high tide, guys, focus with this point. During the high tide, um, can we still see the tide balls or are they covered with water?
Covered with
No,
water.
we can't.
Covered with water, yes, we can't see them. Well done, yes. So the tide pools are always there, but when the tide is low, okay. But when high tide is there, of course, all the parts or all the tide pools are covered with the water. So during this period, during the high tide, animals that live in those tide pools can go back to the ocean, okay. Some animals can actually spend their whole life living in the tide pool, okay. So yes, these tide pools, can you see these parts where they contain water? There is a low tide in this picture up there, the picture with the girl. There's a low tide here, so we can still see some tide pools here. Some of them are big, some of them are small, the different size, but they contain animals. Of course, animals during this low tide can't move back into the ocean, so they wait for the high tide till it comes back. Okay, okay. Um, yes. So, what are the features that we can see over the shoreline? We can see headlands, sea arcs, tide bowls. We can see different things. The last part of this lesson was how humans or how do we affect the shore or what are the forces that can actually affect the shore. One of the first forces is natural, not us, which are waves. Waves break down the beaches or they cause erosion, like they take the sand away from the beach and they actually put it somewhere else. Number two, which are currents, it's still natural. We don't actually cause that, right? And currents can also cause erosion. Do you guys remember what are currents? We had different parts, surface current, a longshore current. It's like the motion of the water caused
Yes.
by, yes, caused by the density. The last thing is the people, which is the important part here. This is what we need from this lesson. People, we do some effects, but here he's talking about the positive effect, like what we can do in order to save the shores from being broken down, being eroded. So, first, we can remove sand, okay, as the first picture here. We can remove sand and rocks and try to get more sand if maybe the beach is being broken down way faster. We can bring sand from places where there is a lot of deposition and add the sand back into the beaches where they need to be added. And then we're doing what we call beach restoration, which means we're like fixing it. Okay. The second thing we can do is building jetties, and jetties also help in protecting the shore, but in a different way. They kind of slow down the waves. So when they hit the shore, they are not that strong to break it down and, of course, cause erosion later. Okay?
Okay.
Guys, if you're having a problem, you can stop me anytime. I'm just trying to go faster because you already know these things. Okay, these are the jetties here in this picture I'm highlighting. Okay, so what is the job of this? It's just a group of rocks. People still keep putting them. They don't have to be rocks. Some people use
Protect the
like,
beach
yes,
from being
big
eroded.
metals or something. Yes. So it protects the shoreline by also blocking the waves or slowing the waves down. So they are not the same, they are not still with the same strength as they are without the jetties. This last part was for reading only. And you guys already know it how people used to travel deeply in the ocean to discover more about the ocean. Oceans, guys, as I told you before, is like the space. People didn't discover all of it, they just discovered 4% of it. It's not that big. Can you imagine that? So yes, oceans need to be discovered till today. So people started doing this from really long time using different things like diving bells, diving suits. Then they had submarines, and then now we have remote controlled vehicles where they can reach really deep places where humans can't survive. Okay. Yeah. The last thing is things that we can see living in the deep, like in places where we call them the hydrothermal vents. The hydrothermal vents are openings on the ocean floor where they get really hot water out because they are close to some volcanic activities. Yes, these places are so hot. There are a lot of organisms that live there, like the tapeworm here, the red ones. Of course, you can go search this one. Okay. Okay, everyone.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have
Okay.
any questions till now?
No.
Okay. So the last lesson here, just let me get it. Okay. We can do these two worksheets. Do you guys have any problem with that? The one about lesson 2 and the one for lesson 3?
No, it was easy.
Okay, I hope it is. We didn't finish this one last time, right? Didn't do this one last time. What is
No,
a
we finished
wave?
it,
Yes,
miss.
we didn't do it. Okay. So I will take the names randomly from the list. Guys, please try to focus and try to participate. Okay, we have as a start, we have Amgad. Amgad.
Yes.
Yes, Amgad. Can you see the first question?
What is a wave, right?
Yes, what is a wave? Just let me take this list away a little bit so you guys can see the questions. Yes, Amgad.
Miss, what is MCAD? You're taking participants or what?
No, I'm asking questions, yeah.
Ah, randomly? You choose randomly?
Yes, I'm choosing randomly from the list, from the participants list.
Okay,
So we
because I
started.
can't see it.
Yes, you can. It's a black screen. The black screen you can see. You see some black list on the right. This is actually the participants list. Okay,
Okay.
Amgad, we can start with you. What is a wave?
A wave is an up and down movement of surface water.
Yes, well done. Wave is up and down movement of surface water. Number 2, we have
How or tight cause?
Yes. So tides are caused by the pull of the sun and the moon on the Earth's oceans. Tides are structures often made of rock that current can't move. Tide causes severe weather season. Tides cause severe weather such as droughts, hurricanes, and flooding. I'm sorry.
A.
Yes, guys. I think we did this last time.
Yes, we finish
We
it.
already did it. Yes, we finished it last time. I asked you this at the beginning and you said no. So that made me confused. Okay, so we can go through the worksheet 3 for lesson 3, but okay. Number 1, we can still move for the next one. We have Esig. Do we still have Esig with us? Esig? Esig? Esig, we can't hear you. If you could. Yes? Esig, we can't hear you, okay? We'll move to Isil. Try to fix your mic, Esig, so we can get back to you. We
As
have ISIL, yes. Number 1,
a
ISIL, please. Yes, number 1.
structure is usually made from rocks that the currents that move is
Mm-hmm. It's a structure, okay, and it's made up of rocks, and it blocks the currents or waves. What do you think?
so
It's gonna be, huh?
true.
GT, yes. It's the only structure in the whole choices. Okay, number 2. Thank you, ISIL. We have Habiba. Habiba.
Yes, miss.
Yes, Habiba. Would you like to answer number 2?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Huh. Read it, please. What do?
What do jetties do? Jetties help pull the sun and the moon. Jetties take sand away from beaches. Jetties stand against the flow of water. None of the above.
Okay, Habiba, you sound so sleepy. I can't really hear all of it. Can you tell me if it's A, B, C, or D?
Yeah, sure.
So they help pull the sun and the moon, or they take sand away from the beaches, or they stand against the flow of water, or none of the above.
None of the above.
Are you sure it's none of the above? What do you think is the job of the GT, Habiba? What do you think the job of the GT? What does it do?
Uh,
You know
I
what's
don't
GT?
understand what is GT.
Yes, all day. Yes, all day. What did you say?
Miss, I cannot understand the GT.
Haven't you been in the session from the beginning?
No, I was here from 802.
Okay, we already mentioned GT. You even have seen a picture. Okay, Habiba, I want you also to look back at the picture again. Okay, look back at the picture of the GT here. Okay, we already explained this before. The GT is like some group of rocks people actually put.
Yeah,
It's something
okay,
done by the
Miss.
people.
I remember.
You remember now,
Because the
okay?
waves like became
Weaker.
strong. Yes.
Yes, so he like weaks the waves. They kind of block the waves. They
Yes.
we can say decrease or I'm sorry, they kind of make their strength of the waves way less. So when the waves start hitting the shore, they will not be the same with the same strength as they used to be without the jetty, and this will protect the shore. So can you get back to the questions again and tell me what is the answer?
Yeah.
Habiba? Yes.
Yes, miss.
So what do you think the answer will be?
It's going to be C.
Yes, it's gonna be C. Thank you so much, Habiba. Guys,
Welcome.
you need to read the questions really carefully during the exam. Please try to do that. Try to do that because I mean, question like this is so easy. Don't make mistakes that you don't deserve. Okay. Okay. Number 3. Let's move to we have who's iBad, guys? Who's named iBad? Who's named iBad, everyone?
I think Nurhan.
I don't know.
Okay, is it Nurhan? Do we have Nurhan with us? If you don't
Yes,
change your
miss.
name, yes. Try to change your name or Nurhan. Okay. Number 3. Would you like to read number 3? Guys, you don't need to
Yes.
raise your hands. If you want to answer, you don't need to raise your hands because I'm picking you guys randomly.
Miss, can I answer?
Auday, did you hear me? I said you don't have to
Yes.
raise your hands because I'm picking you randomly. So you can lower your hand now so I can see.
Okay.
So I can see yani, your name in the list. Okay, Nurhan, would you like to answer number 3? Complete the sentence. Waves are dangerous, not important in shaping our shoreline, important or the main force that shapes the shoreline.
D.
D, yes, it's the main force that shapes the shoreline. Number 4, we have Malak. Malak and then
Yeah.
Mamdouh. Yes, Malak and then Mamdouh. So Mamdouh, try to be ready. If you're having a problem with your mic, like every time, you can send them your answer in the message. Okay, Malak. Number 4, shorelines can be rocky, true or false?
True.
True, yes, they can be rocky, they can be sandy, made up of pebbles. They have different forms. Thank you so much, Malak. We have Mamdouh next. Mamdouh. Mamdouh. Yes, number 5. Shoe lines do not change shape.
True, miss. Say, miss. False.
False, yes. It's the title of the lesson is that what are the forces that change the shoreline? So yes, the shoreline shape can change. You can see different features over it. It's because of the water movement sometimes, or having high tide or low tide. So yes, thank you so much, Mamdouh. Number 6, I would like to ask Asser, back to Asser again. Asser, are you here? Asser?
Here.
Yes, Asser, I can't hear you. Your voice is so far. Can you get closer to the mic, please?
Here.
Okay, can you answer number 6? What is the function of GT to change shape with currents or to protect the mainland from the effects of waves or to continuously move water or to deposit sediment along the shoreline?
B.
Yes, it's going to be B. I think I heard you saying B. Your voice is really so far from me, so that's why I can't hear you well. Did you say this answer?
Yeah.
Yes, Asif?
Yeah.
Asif, I can't hear you.
Miss.
Asif, I really can't hear you. Wallahi. Guys, can you hear your friend? Maybe it's something with my speakers.
No, Miss.
No, no one can hear you, Asif. Are you speaking through a
Voice is
microphone?
very far.
Yes,
His
your
voice.
voice is so far. Yes. I hope you can get closer to the mic. I don't know if you're sleepy or not. Maybe you're just not with us anyway. Esther, try to wake up a little bit. Okay, guys? Or use a different mic. I don't know what's going on there. Number 7, we can pick Mohannad. We have Mohannad now. Mohannad Al-Azami. Yes. Number 7,
What is?
a thin, narrow wall built from the shoreline into the ocean. A wall, okay, we build from the shore.
See wall? Wall?
No, Reem, we're not supposed to answer without permission, Reem. I'm picking people, but it's not seawall. Huh?
I know.
See wall?
Reem, can you hear me? I said no answering without permission. And no, it's not a seawall.
Yes.
Yes, it's actually Mohannad's turn. Okay, Mohannad?
Jetty. See.
Yes, it's gonna be Jetty. Well done. Thank you so much. Okay, number 8. Oday, try to please turn off your mic so you can have your name on the list, because this list changes as you guys turn on your mics or not, or raise your hands. Okay, so next we have who's in the list? We have Nohan. You answered before, right? Okay, so we have Oday now. It's Oday's turn. And then it will be Reem. Okay, Oday.
Okay,
Oday.
Miss.
Number 8.
Okay.
Yes. What is the dumping of new sand onto an eroded beach?
What is the
Dumping? Yes, new sand, which means putting or adding new sand to a beach.
Miss, can I answer number 9?
Reem, you will be next. You will be next, Reem. You will be next. This is Oday's turn. Yes, Oday.
beach restoration.
Restoration, yes. Beach restoration.
Miss,
Well
can I
done.
answer number 9, yeah, Miss?
Yes, Reem, you will answer. You will
Reem.
answer number 9.
Okay.
The place
Miss?
where land and water meet.
Beach.
Beach, yes. Thank you so much. Is it beach or shoreline?
Beach.
Well, there is a difference between both. Do you guys know it? Can someone tell
Yes,
me the
miss.
difference between beach and shoreline?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
The shoreline is this one. The place where land and water meet.
That's exactly yes. Huh?
Shoreline was shot.
Of the beach, Miss?
The beach.
Yes, the
The land
beach.
and
The
water.
beach, yeah.
Land
Yeah.
and Beach is water, the yeah, Miss. water. Beach is the water itself.
Beach is like the part of the water that is closer to the shoreline.
Yes.
Yareem, it's not,
Yes, the
yes.
place that you swim in.
Yes? What did you say? Someone said something?
Tanahi.
Yes, Tanahi.
I said the place that we swim in is named the beach.
Yes. So the shoreline is the correct answer, Yuri. I will ask you again, so try to be prepared, okay? Now we'll move to Schlock. Schlock. Schlock is here.
Yeah, miss.
Yes, Schlock. Number 10 it says, what caused this structure to form? The picture you see on the right. What caused this structure to happen? Okay. Was it waves wore away some of the rocks, or waves piled up more rocks, yani put rocks over each other, or people piled rocks to protect the shore?
A.
Try to focus. Yes, well done. A. It's waves broke down all the parts of the rocks that are soft, leaving only the hard ones. Yes. This is actually what we call the sea arc. Okay. Now we can move to someone else. We have Yasin Doueni. Yasin Doueni. Do we have Yasin Doueni with us?
Yes, miss, yes.
Yes. So Yasin, you will start with number 12, but let me answer number 11. Okay, everyone? Do you guys have a problem with this?
Sorry, I can answer.
Sanahi? Okay, I think Yasin Doueni can answer this one too, but just let me say it because this one's long. So how do waves affect the shoreline? You guys can say different things, but the first thing and the most important thing is that the motion of the waves, or the strength of the waves, break down the shoreline, takes away the water, and this can change the shape of the shoreline. It's really simple answer. You don't have to use the same words in your model answer, guys. Again, the model answers are only there just to give you a hint, or to give you examples or ideas for the answer. But for the questions like this, the questions where you write the answers yourself, just choose your own words. You don't have to follow the same answer from the model answer. Okay. Now, number 12, we have Yasin Doueni, and then we'll have Tanahi after. Yasin Doueni, number 12. What type of rock are headlands usually formed from? Do you remember the types of rocks? We had igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks. Remember that, Yasin?
Yes.
Yes. What do you think the shore is made up of?
The islands are formed by hard rock.
Well, hard rocks, but they're not totally hard because they are broken down. So what do you think? Are they near volcanoes? Should we call them igneous rocks? No, most of the shorelines are not next to a volcano. Okay, are they under the ground where there is a lot of heat and pressure?
It's sedimentary rock.
It's going to be sedimentary rocks. Okay. I didn't hear you answer well, but was it sedimentary rocks? Yes, it's going to be sedimentary rocks because they are broken down way easier. Number 13, and it's most of the time made up of sand or rocks with sand. So yeah, this is sedimentary rock. Now, number 13, we have Abdurrahman Tanahi, number 13.
Miss, what is grinding?
Grinding. It's, when you get two rocks and start rubbing them against each other. اللي هو عارف انت I believe like when two rocks start hitting each other and breaking each other down.
Okay.
I want you to imagine two rocks hitting each other multiple times and breaking each other down. This is actually grinding.
They will become sediments.
Okay. Yes, they will become sediments. So how are the effects of grinding rocks and crashing waves similar? How do you think they are similar? Both of them do what? When rocks hit each other and when waves start crashing the shoreline. What do you think this is? How they are similar?
Like
both of them do what?
The waves hit the water.
Both of them do what?
Hit each other.
I know, but both of them do what to the shoreline? They break it down.
They
So
hit the
both of
rocks.
them will
They hit the
break
rocks
down.
there and break them down. Yes.
Yes, both of them will break down the rocks or break down the shoreline. Thank you so much. Yeah.
This grinding
grinding.
الطحن بالعربي.
ايوه طحن صح، زي ما بنطحن حاجه كده. تمام. Okay, number 14. What are two features that can be seen along the shoreline? ياسين هشام. ياسين هشام. Okay, I think there's a problem. Yasin Sadat, you can answer this final question because we only have less than 1 minute. What are the two features that you can see along the shoreline, Yasin?
Okay. Headland and caves.
Headland and yes, headland and headland and tide pools. Yes, thank you so much. Finally, we have Kinsey. Kinsey, this last question will not be included in the term exam, like how have explorers been able to travel deep into the ocean? But can you still mention some of the things they used? Can you still mention some of the things they used? Do we still have?
I can hear you, Miss.
She couldn't. She
Yes, she's not
can't
using
hear
a
you.
mic as usual. Okay. So it's like the diving bells, diving suits, submarines, remote controlled submarines. So guys, that was it for this lesson. From tomorrow, try to have your revision sheets with you if you want to do them with your hands. Okay, we'll go through the revision sheets tomorrow. Revision sheet 1 for chapter 12. You can find it on the SMS. I will upload the other revision sheets as soon as possible so you guys can have them, of course, every time we need them during the sessions. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for today.